Welcome back. Sugar companies had started off this week on a high note as government slashed the GST on ethanol meant for blending to 6%. And they also said that 20% ethanol blended fuel will be available as early as next year. Note that international sugar prices have also risen over the past few weeks. Vijay Banka, the managing director of Dwarikesh Sugar Industries, is now with us on the show. Mr. Banka, morning. Rima here. This recent news about lower GST on ethanol, could you tell us what impact this will have on your business?
Very good morning. This recent slashing of GST 5% from 18% earlier, this is mainly to the refineries. Insofar as the oil marketing companies are concerned, we were always charging 5% GST. So from an optics perspective, yes, this is a very positive sign. But insofar as our business is concerned, our supplies to the refineries was very minuscule percentage of the total supplies that we made. But yes, it's good in the sense that government is very clear that ethanol blending is to be encouraged. So it's directionally a very good step.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Banka. Thanks for joining us. This is Pavitra. If I can also ask you about, what's going on with the sugar exports. We know that there was talks to try to increase the allocation. Can you tell us where things are on that and what is the kind of export contribution that you expect?
See, government is permitted 6 million tons of export. Quotas have been given to the sugar mills on the basis of their average sugar production in the last 3 years. So out of 6 million tons, what we understand is contracts for about 5 million tons have been already signed. Maybe the shipment has not happened to that extent, but yes, going forward, 6 million tons will be easily completed. And in fact, we've been requesting, and the secretary also has been kind enough that another quota announcement will be made, perhaps maybe end of January or so, when the picture of when the position of the sugar production in the country will be very clear. So we expect another 2 to 3 million tons of export being announced sometime by the end of January.
What percentage of your production is exported? And if indeed the sugar export quota goes up in the month of January, as the street is expecting by 2 to 3 million tons, how much of an incremental benefit or how much of extra export volumes does it open up for your company?
See, insofar as 6 million tons is concerned, our quota was 86,000 metric tons. So proportionally, if it is 2 million tons, it will be accordingly. Well, one must to do the calculations. But yes, we will have some opportunity to export more sugar.
Okay. And what are the realizations in the international market vis-a-vis the domestic market right now, sir?
Well, the international markets have been good. The raw sugar prices are hovering over 20 cents per pound. So these are the kind of prices where the transactions can be, contracts can be signed and transactions executed. So we see this trend of raw prices being over and about 20 cents for some time to continue until the Brazilian stocks comes into the market. So this augurs well. The only area of concern for as far as sugar mills are concerned is the domestic prices. The domestic prices have been flattish for the last 1 year. So we expect some improvement in the domestic prices in the times to come.
And so what would your realization look like? The last we spoke, it was around 35,000.
Yep.
Could you tell us what it could look like for all of FY23 for the full year?
Well, it will be around the same 35,000 or maybe 35,500 rupees a metric ton.
Okay, there was also talks of you setting up a refinery unit for manufacturing white sugar. Is there any progress on that? Could you give us an update?
Yes, we are. We will for sure have a refinery in one of our units when the season 23-24 commences. So we have enough time. We will take a call on that maybe in a month or so from now. So we going forward, setting up a refinery will open up opportunities for export of white sugar, where the prices are more remunerative, and it also facilitates our ethanol production from the juice. So presently we are producing ethanol from juice, and we will do this during the season, and thereafter we will be using BAV molasses for making ethanol.
What is the amount that you have lined up by way of capex for this refinery unit?
No, our refinery unit is the refinery unit will cost us about 100 crores or so. So, well, the numbers are yet to be firmed up, but it will be definitely around the same number.
How will you fund this 100 crore?
100 crores, yes.
No, how will you fund it?
We'll fund it from internal accruals. We have enough surplus in the system, and if required, we can always raise loans from the banks.
All right, so that is on the manufacturing unit. Just one final question. You had some kind of contract where you had to supply 5 million liters of ethanol to ONGC. Is that order over, and are there any other of this nature as well?
No, we have completed our supplies insofar as the ethanol season year 2021-22 is concerned. So 22-23 season has just commenced.
Yeah.
So our supplies are on. We are producing ethanol at both our distillery units. So we will be able to complete our contracted quantity of ethanol supplies.
So what's the supply and demand looking like for next year? What are the projections that you've heard, which gives us an indication of what the sugar prices will be next year, better or worse for you?
Well, insofar as ethanol is concerned, there is absolutely no problem because the government is very keen that we supply more and more ethanol so that the blending percentage goes up. Insofar as sugar is concerned, our association had estimated a production of 36.5 million tons for the season 22-23. So we perhaps may revisit these numbers sometime by the middle of January or towards the end of January. So as of now, we stand by a number of 36.5 million tons, and if about 9 million tons of sugar goes out of the country, so we should, the country should carry similar closing stock as it carried during the last season, which is about 5.5 million tons.
All right, Mr. Banka, we will leave it at that today. Thank you very much for joining us and taking us through the outlook for your business. That is the management of Dwarikesh Sugar saying that the lower GST on ethanol is definitely a welcome move. On the realizations, they're saying it should hold at pretty much the same levels of around 35,000 to 35,500 for the company. But with that, we have to get into a short break now. The market actually has slipped a little bit more. It's over a 200-point cut that we are seeing on the Nifty. So let's take a quick break, but we will come back and pick up after this short break.